It doesn't match. It doesn't follow the pattern. Terrible. It's alright, he has better hair than Stork though, so I'll forgive him. Yeah, Obama toss? Exactly, Obama toss. Woohoo! So Bisu's in a bit of trouble, because Roro is freaking amazing. And Bisu, unfortunately, is not that amazing at StarCraft 2. Of course he's amazing at Brood War, but... Alright, spawning at the bottom left as the red Zerg, we have Roro, one of the cutest players of all time, playing for Samsung Kong. And at the top right, as the blue Protoss. Sure, come on, blue Protoss, there we go. It's going to be Bisu playing for SK Telecom T1. He's going to be building pylon at his front. Standard. Okay, good. Did he get a gap under that pylon? I'm actually not sure if that's tight against the bottom. Maybe it is. I can't tell. Anyway. So we are in Cloud Kingdom, as you can see. And, I mean, as I said, you know, Roro, he's been sent out a number of times as Kong's ace player in StarCraft 2. And Bisu, actually didn't see his record there. Actually, I can go have a look at the Pro League statistics. Bisu is 0-5. What the hell? Okay, I knew he was bad. I didn't realize he was that bad. Bisu is apparently 0-5 in StarCraft 2. He's 5-1 in Brood War. So overall, he's about 50%, but he's apparently 0% in StarCraft 2. And facing Roro isn't exactly going to help his stats there. Wow. That's a little bit, not so good. Anyway, looks like doing a little bit of a disruption with this probe guy. Of course, Bisu, well known in Brood War for having an amazing scouting probe. That's right. And you might wonder, you might say, Sayle, how can you be famous for your scouting probe? That doesn't even make sense. But Bisu probes, man, if you watch his PvZs, those probes are legendary. He can like single-handedly win games with just one probe. Like, denies all your mining, kills all your workers, and then scouts everything in your base, never dies. You make like 20 Zerglings, you're like trying to hunt down the Bisu probe, you get Ling speed, and it's like still not dying, you're like, oh, what's happening? Good times. Anyways, he's gonna do a good old pylon block here at the natural. So we're just going to go take his third, not worry about it too much, make a handful of links as well, just to deal with that pylon and the probe. And we do see the Forge and then Nexus here. So you see the first cannon going up for Bisu. I think he's actually has left a gap below the pylon, so maybe if he built the gateway on the top, it might be flush with the cliff. I'm afraid I still have a poor eye for judging, you know, building spaces and placements in StarCraft 2. Not that I'm a great judge of it in Brood War either, but yeah, it looks like that's actually the case here. Okay, so that's good. That's actually quite nice, because essentially, when you're playing a PvZ, you want the weakest part of your wall to be furthest away from your ramp. So if you look at his wall, right, his gateway is at the top. And that's the strongest building in that wall, right? The Forge is slightly weaker than the gateway, and then the pylon is the weakest part. So if he gets Baneling busted, the weakest part of the wall is furthest away from the ramp, and that gives him more space to like force field it off to defend himself. Whereas if the wall was flipped, it'd be a little bit trickier, because then it'd be easier to like bust that part and run lanes into the main and whatnot. So that's kind of the principle that you want to do there. And I totally just stole all of that, what I just said from Oxlov. I was like watching his stream the other day on Ladder or something. He said like exactly that. Yeah! Stealing smart things from smarter people than I. I love Oxlov. That guy is so smart. I think I told the story on stream, right? I learned like something about Brood War from watching Oxlov stream StarCraft 2. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. Guy's like Stephen Hawking of StarCraft. I wanna see like a debate between Axlov and Artosis. I think that'd be awesome. You know, like one of those presidential debates. but about StarCraft 2. Because right now, like, the debates are like Idra and White Raw yelling at each other on Twitter, and while that's amusing, you know, it's not the same level of intellectualness. You know, we need to actually have Oxlav versus Artosis. Although they both play Protoss though, so I'm not really sure what they'd argue about. But anyway, looks like we have Stargate opening from Bisu. And yeah. What do we have from Roro? Nothing fancy just yet. Just started getting all his gases. And looks like we're having a little bit of pressure here from Bisu, just sending out his first Stalker and Zealot, poking around here. He's gotta be careful though, because the creep's already kind of spreading out a little bit, so gotta be a little bit careful. And looks like Bisu's going straight for Phoenix, not gonna go for the Void Ray first. Interesting stuff. But it looks like a Overlord from Roro is going to scout exactly what's going on here. So he will see the Phoenix in production, see the lack of a Void Ray, and there it is. Okay, so now Roro knows exactly what's going on. Probably just gonna... Whoa! Don't know what just happened there. Region Broadcast seems to occasionally switch back to 4-3 for whatever reason. But yeah, he's probably gonna spore up his mineral lines. Yeah, there he is, getting the Evolution Chamber straight away, and also getting the Lair as well as a couple of additional Queens to help hold us off. And looks like we also see a Robo here at the natural of Bisu. Can pick off the second Overlord here. Alright. Looks like I have sparked like a crazy debate about Oxlav and Artosis. Alright. Love spawning random debates in the chat. So we do have a Birch Warren on the way as well as +1 attack. Lair now finishes. Is he gonna get anything with that? I mean, obviously he'll get like road speed and whatnot, but looks like Phoenix is gonna poke in here. Can't do anything though, because Spore Crawlers rather do finish. I still keep saying Spore Colonies. And it looks like we see a Robo Bay from Bisu going straight into Colossi. Now it's interesting because we saw recently we saw a PVZ where this like exact same thing happened from the Protoss on Entombed. God, who was that? I think that was actually in yesterday's match. Hold on, let me just have a quick look. Oh, Shuttle versus Crazy Hydra, that was it. Shuttle versus Crazy Hydra, yesterday on Entombed. Shuttle did basically this exact build, opening with Pure Phoenix into Fast Colossi. And, I mean, it worked really well, but that was partially because Crazy Hydra would just reacted horribly to it. Like, he made 9 Hydras, did some kind of weird mid-game timing that didn't do anything, and then just kind of didn't make units and died. But in this case, Roro, he has not planted the Hydra Den. He knows that Hydralisks are in fact not very good. And is instead gone for a Spire, now getting his road speed, now getting an additional macro hatchery in his main base. So hopefully he will react a little bit better than Crazy Hydra did. Now, it's going to be interesting, that's Fire. I mean, you know, obviously he'll need a lot of Corruptors for when the Colossi come out with their Phoenix support. I don't know if he'll try and go for Mutas as well with all the Phoenix already out. Seems like it might be a bit of a bad idea. Presumably just... No, he's actually going for Mutas here. Okay, that's very interesting. Because, you know, I mean, for the Protoss player, if you've already gotten the Stargate and gone for Phoenix, you know, it's very easy to just continue Phoenix production to counter the Mutas. I mean, normally people say that, you know, it's a bad idea if you scout the Zerg going for Mutas and then you add on the Stargate. You know, you shouldn't do that. But if you've already got, you know, 4 Phoenixes and you just need to continue Phoenix production, you can definitely do that as a counter to Mutas. And obviously, you know, since they can keep up in the air with the Mutas, they're very, very nice. But I don't think he's actually seen it yet. He's got to be careful because if he gets his Phoenixes caught while running around the Zerg's base, that could be big trouble. And look at this, Zerroer actually double expanding now to his 4th base and to the bottom right. He's taking advantage of this momentary weakness in the Protoss because he knows, you know, the Protoss invested a lot in that Stargate tech, is now getting a 3rd base as well, just playing very, very defensively with a lot of sentries and zealots, in fact, in his composition, you know, getting his Colossi up, and, you know, with this super mobile mutiling army, this harassy, counterattacky army, it's actually a really good idea for him to take, you know, the corner expo, the faraway bases. That's exactly what he's doing. It looks like he just immediately forces a cancel on that 3rd. And actually, but this might be a little bit dangerous though, because now Bisu might just switch into going for a 2 base all in, and having gone for the greedy double expand, I don't know if Roro will actually have enough to deal with this. Will he just go for the base trade? It looks like his mutas are doing a lot of damage in the main here. The Phoenixes, though, they do come back. Will he be able to pick off all the mutas with the Phoenix? Will the stream be able to stop buffering and actually show us the game? I don't know. These questions and many more on the next episode of Dragon Ball Z. It looks like Bisu's starting the attack now. That fourth base probably gonna have to get cancelled, and the army moving up into the third. There's no spine crawler support here. There's just nothing to defend. It looks like, yeah, Roro is just gonna go for the base trade here. The Muta Ling running into the natural here. The force field was not up in time. The Lings get into the natural. The few Phoenixes there are getting picked off by the Mutas. The mass spine crawler is going up in the main base. In fact, looks like Roro is in fact even prepared to sacrifice his natural for free. He's just massing spine crawlers in the main base. You know, a lot of Zerg players will just mass up the spine crawlers at the natural, but Roro realizes that he needs a little bit more time. They won't be up in time if he plants them at the natural, so he knows he has the bottom right base as well, so he's going to sacrifice the third, sacrifice the natural, just go for this base trade situation, just try and maybe hold on to his main base where all the tech is, and where he has that additional second macro hatchery. He's got a lot of spine crawlers up, but not much else. He's got a few mutas and lings here, and the queens, of course, but those two colossi are going to make short work of all the ground units, and even being able to range these spine crawlers. But the thing is, the entire main base of Bisu is gone here. The Ling's taking down everything in the natural, the mutas in the main base, and Bisu's looking in a bit of trouble here. I don't think he even has enough air. If Roro can actually just mass up enough mutas here, just ignore the fact that his colossi, just, you know, get a bunch of mutas and take down all the stalkers and sentries, it's probably not going to matter. I mean, Bisu might even just get eliminated, actually, before he can do anything here. Bisu's army is just way too small to be base trading right now. He cannot kill the Zerg nearly fast enough, and it looks like Roro actually has decided he doesn't want to go for the base trade. He's actually just going to go kill this army now. He realizes he probably has enough stuff, and he's just going for it with the Muta Ling. He's got to be very, very careful how he engages here. There's still 4 sentries with plenty of force fields. There's 2 colossi that will do great damage against the Lings. Looks like the force fields weren't the best here. He did a force field on the high ground. What on earth? And oh my god, Bisu's army just gets crushed. We have a nice looking still image of the last colossi falling in glorious 3 frames per second. I don't know why the hell there's a force field on the high ground. GG from Bisu, and Roro evens up the score 1-1. Bisu now 0-6 in StarCraft 2 matches. He just cannot understand this game. But I mean, Roro, of course, was a formidable opponent. And that was that. That text, I believe, was the Bisu is being revealed text. He didn't say anything. I'm pretty sure that was the blue player is being revealed.
부사전을 좀 힘을 실어주는 그런 상황이었다면 부사전과 조금 더 적극적인 정찰하면 상대방 그 진영들을 파악을 했었어야 되는데 솔직히 그게 스타 1이랑 2랑 비교했을 때는 커세어가 들어가서